Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another important video. So this is about the unit 4 in history. The independence movement of India. We are going to talk about this lesson, the unit 4. This is the part 4. If you haven't watched the part 1, 2, 3 videos, I will put the link in the description box so that you can able to watch it. Right, let's get into the lesson. Today I am going to talk about the how do the Muslim League was established. So at that time, all of the Indians are united, and the English don't like this unity because it is disadvantage for them to make this country their colony. So the lot of Indians here are Muslims, and they lived a small amount of Muslims also at that time. So after establishing the Indian National Association, the Hindus and the Muslims were unitedly acted in the association, and they also have faced the same problem. What is the problem is? The problem is that the English are capturing the country. So the Hindus as well as Muslims cannot act independently in the country. When the association was going on with these kind of activities, some of the Muslim leaders and some of the Muslim people are having problems. Right, all of the people some of the Muslims are having problems, and these Hindus who are in the Indian National Association did not consider the Muslims problems. So the Muslims could understand about this, and in 1906 all the Indian Muslim Association or the Muslim League came under the leadership of Aga Khan. It means all the Muslim people made a association. This is known as Indian Muslim Association or the Muslim League. This was done in 1906 by Aga Khan. So here is Aga Khan, and this is the way how they have established their Muslim League. Right. As the Hindus also had some objectives in their Indian National Association, the Muslim League also had some objectives. The first one is to unite the Muslim people, to make the Muslim people unity. Second one is to get the opportunities for the Muslims to be in the civil service. To be all the Muslims to be in the civil service, there is one of objective of them. Third one is to get the opportunity to be in the legislative council. In the present, we call the legislative council as the parliament. So the legislative council, to get the opportunity to be in the legislative council is really difficult at that time. So they want to get the leadership, to get the opportunity to in the legislative council, they established this Muslim League. Now the English has established, they have adopted different kind of strategies to make the Muslims, Hindus separated, as well as to capture the capture the country and not to give any freedom for these people. So first one is they arrest people who are fighting for the freedom. Lot of people, leaders were fighting. Actually, Bal Gangdhar Thilak, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawawharlal Nehru, there are a lot of leaders who were participated for this freedom and who are fighting for the freedom to the country. So these Indians, these leaders were arrested by the English. So in 1921, the Indians launched the non-violent campaign. Here, in 1921, the Indians launched a non-violent campaign, and also India, C.R. Das, this is C.R. Das, who was a leader at that time, were arrested by the English government. So the youths, it means the extremists who are in the Bengal, got angry because of this situation, and they came forward by arresting them also. This strategy was not successful for the English. So here I have put in a simple words to understand, and this is like a short note also. You also can read them and note them out. Then they use other different strategies. They used this. The English government used disturbing protest campaigns, meeting with the police, and they put some martial laws. So here another important strategy was divide the Bengal in 1905. Dividing the Bengal, Bengal is the largest province of India, and it is located in northeast of India. As this land part is very huge, the English thought of dividing it into two parts. Okay, as the land is very huge, the English thought of dividing this Bengal into two parts. So the freedom struggle was spread throughout the country. So the people thought that the English was doing this to cripple their independence movement. So the Indians launched different kind of protests. They did different kind of things to stop this dividing. So the English didn't consider these kind of protests. They divide the Bengal in 1905. They divide India for Hindus and Pakistan for Muslims. This is Bengal, where Bengal, you can see the Bengal is really huge here. Then the introducing constitutional reforms. This is also a very important strategy. The rulers who were appointed. So introducing constitutional reforms is also important strategy. The rulers who were appointed a number of committees, public representatives, and they obtained some discussion with the Indians, and the Indians went on organizing people to achieve their target. The rulers were appointed different kind of discussions, and they thought of getting this freedom struggle away. Bal Gangdhar Thilak. Bal Gangdhar Thilak is a really important leader. He said once, "Self-rule is my heritage, my birth, and I will achieve it." Remember this quote very well, because in the examinations we will get some MCQs under this quote. So now we are going to talk about the Mahatma Gandhi's activities. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the activities of Mahatma Gandhi. The Mahatma Gandhi, if we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, he was the greatest leader of the independence movement of India. And also he launched the non-violent movements. He launched different types of campaign against the English government. We will learn them at the end of the lesson. He became a lawyer and served in South Africa. And in South Africa, he had to be suffered because in South Africa there is a caste discrimination with that, and this Mahatma Gandhi also have to suffer. Once Mahatma Gandhi was traveling in a train, a policeman has caught him and put him out of the train because of the caste discrimination. And in 1915 he returned to India. When did he return to India? In 1950. He got involved in different kind of problems which were faced by the Indian farmers and Indian laborers. Mahatma Gandhi addressed to the farmers who cultivated indigo in the district Champaran in the state of Bihar. So district of Champaran in state of Bihar, he organized an big meeting and addressed the farmers at there. Then he launched a struggle called Champaran Peasant to solve the farmers' problems against the English government. So these all are short notes. I'm just revising from it again. Then a Keda movement was launched by Mahatma Gandhi. This Keda movement means the struggle which was launched the people who are unable to pay taxes due to the different kind of problems. The people are suffered due to the English because they had to pay taxes for each and everything, such as salt tax, tobacco tax, then coconut tax. Different kind of taxes have to be paid. Taxes have to be paid for the farmers and also the people. So because of that, the Mahatma Gandhi launched a movement known as Kheda movement. Then 1920 to 1947, Mahatma Gandhi acted as active leader in the independence movement of India from which period 1920 to 1947. Then in 1921, people launched the non-cooperative movement under Gandhiji. Under Mahatma Gandhi, people has launched a non-cooperative movement. What is non-cooperative movement means? Not becoming cooperative with the English government. Without being cooperative with the English government, the people has launched some non-cooperative movement under the Mahatma Gandhi's leadership. Then in 1930, civil disobedience campaign was launched by Mahatma Gandhi and other people. So the salt was produced at a low cost in India, and the English government has impressed different high taxes for salt. So Mahatma Gandhi launched a protest called Dandi March. Now in India, salt were produced really at a low cost, but the English government has put some high taxes for the salt, and Mahatma Gandhi and the people were difficult to pay the taxes for the salt. So Mahatma Gandhi and the people launched a protest called Dandi March in March 1930. Okay, in March 1930, this Dandi March was done from Sabramati Ashram to Dandi Beach. 400 miles they walked. So to remember the date of this March 1930 and the Dandi March, I will give you a short sentence to remember. Then you will be really easily remember this one in the exam also. The sentence is: Dandi March was so salty, it was on March 1930. Dandi March was so salty, it was on March 1930. Remember this phrase very well, and you will be able to remember the date as well as what is this Dandi March is. So this from where to this where this they organized the Dandi March is not that much important. By the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, this march was really successful, and the English were failed to cripple that march. Then Mahatma Gandhi's Irwin Pact of 1931 was happened. Gandhi Irwin Pact of 1931. So this is a protest that were launched throughout the India, which came to end. The protests which were launched throughout the India came to an end after an agreement with Mahatma Gandhi and the Viceroy of India. After this was entered, this Gandhi Irwin Pact of 1931 was happened. The protest was end after the agreement between the Mahatma Gandhi and the Viceroy of India. Then this situation we call as Gandhi Irwin Pact of 1931. So then we are going to talk about how do the India become independent. This is the last part of this lesson. So this is the last part. So this is really easy to understand. In 1930, the English was suffered due to the Indians launched protests. So Indians has launched protests. So the English were really suffered in 1930. And in 1935, the English introduced another new government act for India. 1935, they introduced another new government act. So under that act, they established a ruling system called federal structure in India. A structure called federal structure. Under this new government act, federal structure ruling system was introduced to India by the English. Then the Indian National Association and the Muslim League had an election in 1937. So, Muslim League, which was created by Aga Khan, and National Association, which was created by Rajaram Mohan Roy. Both of them had election in 1937. Under this election, National Association was won. So in 1939, the India was connected to the World War II by the English people without the permission of the Indians. So in 1939, the India were connected to the World War II without the permission of Indians, because at that time the World War II was going on. So the Indian National Association ministers resigned from their seats, so they cannot go to the World War II, because India cannot be connected to the World War II by the English without the permission of the Indians. So the Indian National Association ministers were resigned. As the English needed support of these Indians to the World War II, the English gave the promise to the Indians that they would establish another new ruling system for the Indians when the World War I is over. When the World War II is over, if the Indians supported to the English, the English promised that they will give the India to themselves, to the Indians. They will independent the India and they will leave this India. So Japan joined the World War II in 1941. Okay, 1941, Japan joined the World War II. And the English were feared that the Indians will support the Japanese and if Japan will invade the India. So the British Prime Minister, who is Winston Churchill, you can see the picture of him here, is Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, who is a British Prime Minister at that time, expressed to the Indians to consider this request and to be polite for this request. And the Prime Minister sent Stafford Cripps, as a special envoy for the Indians. Then the Muslim League, which was under the Muhammad Ali Jinnah was at that time the leader of the Muslim League, and he launched a huge campaign for separating a country named Pakistan for the Muslim people. So actually, there is no any importance for the English to divide the country, divide the India, Bengal as India and Pakistan, as we learned earlier. Pakistan was the Muslim people's country at that time. Now was the same. Muhammad Ali Jinnah launched a big campaign for separating this Pakistan as their Muslim people's country. So World War II was ended in 1945. 1945, World War II was ended. At the parliamentary election which was held in England, the Winston Churchill's section, which is known as part, was defeated. The Winston Churchill's party was defeated, and another new government came to the power in India. Then there are some important features of the independence movement of India. Okay, the protests were launched for the independence. There are some new protests were launched for the independence of the country. The British understood that they could not keep India as a colony. The British government had discussion with the Indians. The Muslim League was created under another new separate country known as Pakistan. So then we are going to talk about how do the India took the independence. With the discussion with the India, the English took some discussion with the India, and a temporary government was established in September 1946. In September 1946, some discussions with the Indians were created, and a temporary government was established in September 1946. Lord Mountbatten was acted as the last British viceroy in India. Then 15th August 1947, India became independent country. So when do the India became an independent country? 15th August 1947. This day should be remembered very well, because in the MCQs we will get it. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad was known as a greater leader in the National Association. We will learn more about this Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad in the next part. So Mahatma Gandhi's non-violence were not able to defeated even by the German Hitler, who is an great warrior in the World War II. German Hitler could not defeat the Mahatma Gandhi's non-violence. Okay. Now let's talk about the prominent leaders of India's independence movement, who are the important and interesting leaders of India's independence movement. First, Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji was born in Mumbai in 1825. You can see him in 1825 in Mumbai. Dadabhai Naoroji was born. And he is a professor of mathematics in the Elphinstone College in Mumbai. Elphinstone College called Elphinstone College. He is a professor of mathematics in that college. He is a great leader and he became the president in the Indian National Association. He is the second president in the Indian National Association, and he was the oldest member who participated for the Indian independence movement. So we call as a important golden name for him, we are calling him as the Grand Old Man of the India. Grand Old Man of the India was known as Dadabhai Naoroji. Then we are going to talk about Surendranath Banerji. You can see the picture of him. Surendranath Banerji was born in 1848 in Calcutta and he was a Bengali national. He obtained his first degree from India and went to England for higher education. Then he passed the civil service examination. So he passed the civil service examination in England. And he is the first Indian to join to the civil service. He is the first Indian to join to the civil service. He is a good educationist and also a famous educationist. He established a new school called Ripon College. So this is important. This point is important. He established a new school called Ripon College and he launched a new newspaper called the Bengali. Then in 1876, he is the one who established the nationalist organization. Next, Bal Gangdhar Thilak. This is Bal Gangdhar Thilak. He was born in Maharashtra in 1856 and he obtained his first degree for maths, and he has believed that a good education will always become a good citizen. If we received a good education at our childhood, we will become a good citizen when we are young. So he established an organization called Deccan Educational Society. Deccan Education Society. He has organized an organization and he launched two newspapers called as Kesari and Maratha. Kesari and Maratha are two newspapers which are launched by him. He was also known as by two important names as a respect for him. Lokamanya and Lokamanya Thilak. Remember this one, Lokamanya Thilak. He once said that self-rule is my heritage by my birth. Remember this quote also. He was in the prison for some occasions, he was in the prison when the English put some strategies also. And in the history, he was known as a stable huge rock. Then we are going to talk about the Mahatma Gandhi, the really important character. Mahatma Gandhi's full name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He was born in 1896 and for a short name we are calling him as Mahatma Gandhi. He went to England for his higher studies and he passed the examination in law and went to South Africa. When he went to South Africa, he got to know how the people were respected and how the people were discriminated by the black people. When Mahatma Gandhi was traveling, he was pushed out due to the color discrimination in South Africa. In 1915, he went to the India and he joined the independence movement. He launched different kind of campaigns. Some of them are these non-violence campaign, civil disobedience campaign, satyagraha campaign, Swadeshi movement. All of these campaign were launched by Mahatma Gandhi. And also he came to Sri Lanka in 1927. He travelled to Colombo, Kalutara, Galle, Jaffna and Kandy. And also he was warmly welcomed by the Sri Lankans. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad was a Muslim leader. He was born in 1888. He had a good knowledge when he was young. He had a good knowledge about everything, general knowledge and everything. He launched a newspaper known as Al Hilal. What is the newspaper he launched? Al Hilal. He worked as a second president of the Indian National Association, and also he is a good friend of Mahatma Gandhi. This is Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. Then Jawawharlal Nehru. So Jawawharlal Nehru was born in Allahabad in 1889. After the study in India, he went to England and he worked as a lawyer. He joined the Indian National Association at the middle of the independence. After the independence of India, he became the Prime Minister of India. Who is the first Prime Minister of India? Jawahirlal Nehru. Then he wrote many books such as the World History, and this book known as World History was translated to many languages. Not only this book, he launched different kind of books, and the main famous book is World History. This book was translated to many languages. And Indira Gandhi is a daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru, and also she also became the Prime Minister of India. After Jawaharlal Nehru, he also became as the Prime Minister in India. Who is the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru? Indira Gandhi. So this is the end of the 4th lesson. Thanks for watching my video. And if you haven't watched the part 1, 2 and 3 videos, I will put the link in the description box. And I also thought of doing a questions and answering video ahead. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.